You have no idea how this tech has affected my brain. This thing has ruined my life.
You want to know what the mind's eye really is?
It's activating. I know what I have to do.
I need to make contact with Solis.
Don't even risk the LTV in the storm.
Jack Leary responding to Fort Solis alarm. Is everything okay over there?
Be careful. I think something is off here.
Jess, how many people are in Solis?
The system lists 6.
There's an incident here.
An incident? What kind of incident?
I don't know!
Well, what the hell is going on there?
Someone was down there with me. I'm heading back up to the surface level now.
You need to get out of there now!
I'm still in there!
Jack! Answer me!
What would it mean to you if the world was comprised of informational particles instead of physical particles? Oh, I got a little ahead of myself. I am TJ Kemp from NCSoft. Welcome to Project M. How would the fabric of simulated reality change our perceived world if we could tamper with the arrangement of those particles? This very idea is what sparked Project M. The informational particles that shape Project M's world can transform reality based on your choices. And each choice you make will change your experience. The information that exists in the present reality determines how the world will unfold. Value every encounter and every moment. These will be essential in the world of Project M. This is where our journey ends for now. I look forward to seeing you all again soon.
I see through your darkness now. I see through your lies. I will show them how to see as I do. I will not appease your gods. I will destroy them.
It's been a long 5 years. We've tried to resist. Fear and mistrust rule the galaxy.
Cal, look into the fire. It will warm you, keep you company. But left unchecked, it will consume everything until there is only ash.
How could you let the galaxy fall to this unworthy machine of an empire?
Hope may feel beyond our grasp. But I think we finally found somewhere the Empire can't reach us.
Imagine. No more looking over your shoulder.
A place that's worth fighting for. No matter the cost.
Welcome to the Lords of the Fallen Technical Showcase. Here at Hexworks, our goal has always been to create the most immersive game experience possible. Today, we're journeying to Skyrest Bridge, one of the game's early locations, to demonstrate just some of the impressive ways Unreal Engine 5's state-of-the-art technologies have helped us deliver on this ambitious vision for our upcoming action RPG. We want players to feel fully immersed in our world by playing as their own unique virtual persona. To achieve this, we have used a combination of technologies, including 3D scans of real people and UE5's own character customization tech. Players can create unique faces and bodies by dynamically morphing between a huge range of shapes before finessing the finer details. Our extensive selection of armor sets seamlessly adapt to whatever shape the player chooses. It's really important to us that we represent as wide a proportion of our audience as possible. Being able to customize your hero in Lords of the Fallen is only the beginning. Each and every one of our characters is incredibly detailed, using high-resolution textures. Get up close to any surface in the game, like this tunic for example, and detail texturing provides incredible levels of micro-detail. How these objects move and behave is also crucial for player immersion. UE5's Chaos Physics engine facilitates advanced simulations for clothes, chains, hair, belts, and a whole lot more. This helps to substantially enhance the secondary motion in all our characters, making their movements look much more lifelike. The lighting in Lords of the Fallen takes full advantage of Unreal's brand new Lumen GI. We've been able to light our complex environments in real time, meaning we can immediately see the effect of a light bounce, for example, without waiting for the traditional slow baking processes. Watch how the lighting reacts as we move our light source around this environment. Global illumination like this can be quite demanding on processing, so we also make use of emissive shapes to add additional details to the lighting of any space. We can then fine-tune these light bounces on our nanite meshes, providing our world with impressive levels of detail and minimal impact on performance. Perhaps the most important element of Lords of the Fallen is the ability to travel between two worlds. The realm of the living, Axiom, and the realm of the dead, Umbral. We've created our own custom toolset within UE5 that allows us to intricately craft these two environments side by side and seamlessly swap between them. This means our artists and designers can ensure these worlds feel intrinsically linked, like two sides of the same coin, even if one side is decidedly more horrific than the other. On behalf of Hexworks, thanks for watching today's brief tech presentation. The twin realms of Umbral and Axiom await fearless adventurers later this year, when Lords of the Fallen launches on PC and current-gen consoles.
Alright, so last year, we added several new features to the engine to support foliage rendering, and the Fortnite team used those features to ship Battle Royale Chapter 4. At the same time, Jacob over there and the team at Quixel were experimenting with what's possible for photoreal foliage environments, as well as testing out the latest functionality that we've been building for Unreal Engine. So, Jacob's here with us today in the Unreal Editor. Let's explore the environment. And what better way to do that than off-roading? And what better way to off-road than in a Rivian R1T? Now, Rivian uses Unreal to power their instrument cluster, including 3D visualization of their vehicles. So we worked with them to bring the R1T to life in this experience. Let's head on out, Jacob.
Sure thing, on my way.
All right. So we're building tools for interactive and dynamic worlds. So here we have chaos physics simulating rocks that tumble as we drive over them, leaves bend out of the way, and we also added some real-time fluid simulation. We worked with the team at Rivian to set up Unreal's Chaos vehicle model to simulate the suspension of the truck and how the electric motors drive each individual wheel. Chaos also simulates how the tires compress and deform, and Meta Sounds enabled the team to precisely resynthesize the sounds of the electric motors and mix them with the ambisonics of the jungle. So Rivian provided us with a highly detailed model of the truck, about 71 million polygons that we're able to render in real time thanks to Nanite. Now, the Rivian not only looks incredibly realistic because of Lumen and Nanite, but also its materials. And today, we're introducing Substrate, our new material framework. And to better demonstrate it, let's swap the paint out for Opal. Now, of course, you can't order a Rivian with Opal body panels, but Opal was the internal code name for this project, and also a really great demonstration of Substrate's capabilities. The base layer models the iridescence, refraction, and reflections that occur inside of an opal. And on top of that is a layer representing the polished surface and how light is absorbed as it travels through that clear layer of varying depths. And now we can add back on the dust and dirt layers. And notice how the reflection changes when interacting with the dust layer, and that there are no artifacts along the transition from dirt to dust to opal. So Substrate is more expressive, enabling artists to create materials like this with different shading models and compose and layer those materials as they see fit. All right, let's head on out, Jacob.
On my way.
All right. In terms of performance, Substrate materials that are similar to the current Unreal Engine shading model cost about the same. But now, artists have the freedom to author more complex materials for extremely detailed use cases, like in cinematics and in film. So we're going to drive under this fallen tree here, and everything that you've seen up to this point was painstakingly hand-built by the environment team at Quixel. Everything since that fallen tree has been built using our brand new experimental suite of procedural content generation tools, entirely an engine that are flexible, deterministic, and artist-driven. Our guiding principle in building these systems was to empower artists to make tools for artists. So Jacob's going to go ahead and add a procedural assembly to the world. And the cool thing is that it communicates. Thank you. Yeah. Pretty cool. And the cool thing is that it communicates with other nearby procedural elements in the scene, like the creek bed. So let's say a designer comes by, wants to direct the player to drive to the left. Jacob can simply move the assembly to the right, and everything updates to accommodate that change. Game design is iterative, so let's say the designer comes back, wants to give the player the choice of going left or right again. Jacob can simply move the assembly back over. Now, the artist who created this assembly also added some additional handles that Jacob can use to art direct where rock slides occur. Allows him to customize the piece a little bit more, make it a little easier for the Rivian to drive by. So we started by handcrafting that original part of the level to set the visuals and art direction for the entire piece, and then built out procedural tools that allowed the team to create a much larger play space much more quickly. Now let's see how we can use these procedural tools to make larger sweeping changes to the environment. So Jacob, let's start by removing some of the trees in this area.
Absolutely, that's easy enough actually.
All right, a little too much. Let's add some trees back in.
Okay.
And let's also add in some cliff formations, give it a little bit more variability. So the procedural systems are all deterministic. As Jacob is experimenting with different sets of input parameters, once he finds a set that he likes, he can always go back to it and get out exactly the same results. And the procedural systems aren't just placing trees and rocks, but also fog cards, bugs, birds, everything that's needed to bring this environment to life. And everything that you've seen here works at scale. This environment is 4 kilometers by 4 kilometers. If we hide all of the procedural elements, we can see that original hand-built area about 200 meters by 200 meters. We believe that there will always be the need for hand-building environments, so we design these procedural systems to be tools for artists that work in concert with hand-built content. Both Substrate and the new procedural tools will be available in experimental form in 5.2. And everything you've seen here is running in the Unreal Editor in real time on a developer machine with an Intel 13900K CPU and NVIDIA RTX 4090 GPU.
Man, those Hyenas are just so freaky. They don't even wear a uniform.
Remember when Martians were just goofy-looking aliens? I miss that. Don't be fooled by this costume. I am vengeance. Sorry. Nuts.
You've harnessed your glove's power, and now you want to find me.
Gotta find Mama.
You don't know what's making the Miasma angry, and it's spreading across America, twisting this once great nation into a lethal wasteland.
We gotta help these people.
Find me. And if you do, maybe I will tell you my secret. The revelations must be earned.
on the goddamn ground.
We need to sell the loot we take by trade or pawn shops.
Excellent. Our team is assembled. Observe the map. There are opportunities present. Right. This store holds assorted jewelry and loose stones. Nothing exceptional, yet a nice bulk value. Be silent or be quick. There may be detectors, cameras, guards, or civilian interference.
I fucking love banks.
Then, it seems, Rockay is built for you. Drilled into the vault like any old bank robber.
They got computers now. Those fuckers can pop the vaults, too. Alright, we're inside. Guards and cameras. Are we ready on this coke boat, or what?
The Miss Olga has yet to arrive in Rockay Harbor.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
After which, our combat team boards from the aft and liberates the powder.
Hey, I'm close.
Two loves I have of comfort and despair. Which like two spirits to suggest me still. The better angel is a man right there. The worser spirit a woman colored in hell. To win me some to hell. My female evil tempted my better angel from my side, and would corrupt my saint to be a devil, wooing his purity with her foul pride. And when that my angel returned to you, suspect I may yet, not directly and be both from you both to each friend. I guess one angel in another hell in another scale. Yet this shall I ne'er know, but I leave it down till my bad angel fire my good
Hello, and welcome to this exclusive first look at Aliens Dark Descent. In this short preview, we reveal what kind of experience awaits you. Dark Descent is a real-time, squad-based tactical action game. You are the commander. Marines are your weapon. You are tasked with investigating a sinister uprising that caused a vicious xenomorph outbreak on the moon. Your squad is controlled fluidly and intuitively as one unit, where any command you issue is automatically dispatched to the Marines best equipped for the task. Whether you're using mouse and keyboard or a controller, we want you to be fully immersed in the world and the iconic Aliens experience.
Wait, you know what to do.
Lead strategically. Enter combat without breaking stride, slowing down time at the touch of a button, just enough to distribute tactical orders with military precision. Tread carefully, though, because death is permanent in Dark Descent, losing a Marine in combat is irreversible.
Shut the doors!
Forge unique paths for survival. Explore large open levels to complete story missions and side objectives.
Come out friendly like, yeah? Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
Level up your loyal Marines with special abilities, perks, and gear, and customize the squad composition to optimize each run. At Tindalos, we're extremely excited to bring this game to all fans of the legendary Aliens license and to all the real-time action strategy fans.
The man works. The man fails. Over and over, discarding that which he creates. Consumed by disgust, by despair. His own hideous uselessness. And in the lightless catacombs beneath, she whispers, "The heart is yours for the taking," the voice insists. They soothe one another. They talk in the dark. They never stop. A conference of lonely monsters. In his preoccupation, the man has let the other ones slip from his mind. In that shadowed hall, a man rises to his feet, surrounded by strange machines, the instruments of his numerous failures, and he laughs. Long and bitter and sad.
We're stuck in this nameless place, with nothing but courage and scavenged supplies. Everyone's giving their best. But it's hell out here. We must hold our ground. We must breach their defenses. United, we will make history.
With over 20 years of history, maps are a fundamental pillar of Counter-Strike. And in Counter-Strike 2, maps are getting a new look. But don't worry, you can still bring along your countless hours honing strategies and exploiting every corner and crevice. We took 3 approaches to improving maps while retaining their rich legacy. First, there are touchstone maps. Classic maps with solid foundations that players can use to evaluate gameplay changes from CSGO to Counter-Strike 2. These have improvements to lighting and character read, but otherwise haven't been changed. Next, we have upgrades. These are maps that use new Source 2 lighting, including a physically based rendering system that produces realistic materials, lighting, and reflections. And finally, overhauls. The oldest maps have been fully rebuilt from the ground up, leveraging all of the Source 2 tools and rendering features. These tools will be available for community map makers to make it easier to build, experiment, and iterate. With upgrades to lighting, player read, and materials in Counter-Strike 2, even the familiar will feel brand new. Counter-Strike is known for its visceral and satisfying gunplay. Now, firing a weapon looks pretty simple. You click your mouse, your character shoots, your target takes damage. But there's a lot more happening behind the scenes. In previous versions of Counter-Strike, the game only evaluated moving and shooting in discrete time intervals, or ticks, and time between those ticks didn't exist. For the most part, the experience was seamless. But sometimes those milliseconds between click and tick could be the difference between landing or missing your shot. That's why with Counter-Strike 2, we're introducing sub-tick updates. Now the tick rate no longer matters for moving and shooting, so the server will know the exact moment you fired your shot, jumped your jump, or peeked your peek, and the server will calculate your precise actions between ticks. So what you see is what you get. In a Counter-Strike match, information can mean the difference between success or failure. As a result, smoke grenades have become a cornerstone of team tactics. With Counter-Strike 2's new game engine, we've evolved smokes and made them dynamic. Smoke grenades now create volumetric 3D objects that live in the world. Now, not only do all players see the same smoke regardless of position, but the smoke can interact with the environment in interesting ways. It reacts to lighting, grows to fill spaces naturally. The shape of the smoke cloud can be pushed and carved by bullets and grenades. In Counter-Strike 2, smoke grenades provide even more tactical opportunities. They're just going to look and play better.